Hi, my name is Aaron Berg and I'm a sales engineer with Progress. In this video, I will briefly cover what Progress Data Direct Hybrid Data Pipeline is and how it can allow you to quickly OData-enable your database using our support for generic JDBC drivers and leveraging Salesforce Connect to consume this data on demand and in real time within your Salesforce instance. Hybrid Data Pipeline is a lightweight software service. It provides standards-based access to over 20 on-premises and cloud data sources, along with other generic JDBC data sources. This allows client applications to access data sources via standard ODBC, JDBC, or OData. The Hybrid Data Pipeline service can be installed in the cloud, on-premises, or in your DMZ depending on your use case. Note that Hybrid Data Pipeline is designed for the cloud to include scalability, security, access management, and data compression. While Hybrid Data Pipeline supports ODBC and JDBC, today I will be demonstrating its support for the OData REST API. REST enabling your data sources offers a number of advantages. REST APIs allow for simple and secure connectivity using friendly HTTPS over the internet, removing the requirement for embedding drivers. These APIs are naturally accessible from JS, Angular, NativeScript, mobile apps, and many others. They allow you to offer a secure way to expose your data, taking advantage of the benefits of an API layer to centralize user access as well as throttle control to protect against resource monopolization. An API layer also allows you to decouple your code from the database, making future transitions easier. Finally, by directly accessing your source databases, you don't need to replicate your data. You can just access it on demand. To begin the demo, this slide reviews the architecture we will be working with. I have chosen to install the Hybrid Data Pipeline server in Google's Compute Engine and connect it with a Teradata database hosted in Amazon EC2. As I proceed through the demo, I will use the Hybrid Data Pipeline's Management API to enable generic JDBC driver support, copy the required Teradata drivers to the Hybrid Data Pipeline server, and then utilize the Hybrid Data Pipeline user interface to step you through connecting to the Teradata data source and exposing a table via OData. I will then take you through configuring an external data source in Salesforce and creating a tab to be able to view the Teradata resident data. To begin the demo, we first need to enable third-party JDBC driver support. To do that, we issue a put command using an API management tool such as Postman to the Hybrid Data Pipeline server. Here you'll see that we're setting data source type of 5 to true. This is the body of the put command. When we press send, it will make that request, set it to true, and now use of the JDBC data store has been enabled. Note this will be available by default in future versions of the product. Once you have enabled third-party JDBC driver support using the API management tools, go ahead and log into the Hybrid Data Pipeline user interface. Here you'll be able to click on Data Sources and New Data Source and see that the JDBC tile is present. This means that it has successfully been enabled. Next, we need to copy the JDBC drivers required for our data source to the Hybrid Data Pipeline server. To copy the JDBC drivers that I've downloaded on the left here to my Hybrid Data Pipeline server, I'm using a tool such as FileZilla to make an SFTP connection to the remote server. Here you'll see that I can drag these files on the left over to the drivers directory on my Hybrid Data Pipeline server. This is located in the application path under the DD Cloud directory, key store, and drivers. Once you've copied the third-party JDBC drivers from Teradata to the Hybrid Data Pipeline server, you need to stop and then restart the Hybrid Data Pipeline service. Here you'll see I've connected to my Hybrid Data Pipeline server via SSH and will now issue those commands. The start and stop scripts are located in the DD Cloud directory. Once the Hybrid Data Pipeline service completes, we will then immediately run the start.sh script. Now that we've restarted the Hybrid Data Pipeline service, you see that we can configure the JDBC data source to the Teradata database. The required fields are the data source name, driver class, and connection URL. For the purposes of the demo, I've already created a Teradata connection. I've entered the data source name, the driver class, the database user and password, as well as the IP address to the Teradata instance running in Amazon EC2. Once you click Update, the data source is saved, and you can now configure your OData configuration. When you drill into the data source, click OData, and click on Edit Configuration. Here you will see all of the tables that can be exposed via OData. If you scroll down, we can find the events table, which we're going to expose via OData. We'll click plus to expand. I've chosen the event num column to be our primary key, and I've selected it. Its checkbox here is blue. We'll click Save and Close, and then Update. We'll see that we've refreshed the schema automatically. If we click on the link, we can bring back the metadata from the OData endpoint for Teradata being exposed by the Hybrid Data Pipeline server. Now that we've exposed our Teradata database as an OData endpoint through the Hybrid Data Pipeline, we can take advantage of Salesforce Connect to expose that directly inside of Salesforce. To do that, first we go into Setup. Here, we create an external data source. New external data source. We're going to name it. We're going to choose our type as OData4. We're going to paste in the URL to our HTTP server with the Teradata endpoint. We'll set our authentication, password authentication, and the credentials to the Hybrid Data Pipeline server. Click Save. Click Validate and Sync. Select the events table. Click Sync. Now that it's pulled the metadata from the external Teradata source, we can expose that as a tab within Salesforce. Here, if we go to Tabs and create a new custom object tab, you'll see that we can choose Events. We choose a tab style, and we click Next, Next, and Save. Now you'll see there's a tab at the top here called Events. If we click on that, we can edit our view. Here, inside the view, we can choose the fields that we would like to expose inside of Salesforce. When we click Save, you'll see the results of the Events tab with this data being pulled directly from the Teradata database. Thank you for taking the time to learn how to REST enable your database using Hybrid Data Pipeline with support for generic JDBC drivers. No longer do you need to replicate your data. Now you can connect to it in real time using OData. If you have any further questions or would like to see a demo of Hybrid Data Pipeline, please don't hesitate to contact us.